Hi everyone, Laurin here at Hatha Yoga. And for Newbie November, I wanted to make a little video about different class types and clarify a few things for anyone who may be new or maybe not new and is just curious about what the different classes kind of are. There are detailed descriptions of each of our classes on our website on the class descriptions page, but just in general, I wanted to give you a little bit of a background as to what the classes might entail. For example, we have a lot of classes on our schedule that are flow classes, like the Gentle Hatha flow, the Goddess flow, Vinyasa flow, power flow, those kinds of things. And a flow class is a little different than a regular, say, Hatha class, in that a flow class links together a lot of postures, and sometimes several at a time, before repeating on the other side. And when we're flowing between different postures, it's meant to be in a really smooth and seamless way, and sometimes a very creative way. Makes it fun too. So any of those classes are often faster moving, except for example the slow flow and the gentle hatha flow. Those ones aren't super fast, but a vinyasa flow, a power flow are definitely more fast moving classes. And it just allows you to kind of get into the breath and the body in a way that you're not thinking about anything. You're just kind of moving from pose to pose to pose in this beautiful flowing movement. So that's flow classes for you. I also want to talk about Hatha. There are a couple Hatha classes on the schedule. And Hatha is the lineage of yoga that pretty much every other branch of yoga now comes from. Hatha is often structured in a way that you would repeat one side and the second side of a pose back to back without kind of a flowing sequence in between. And Hatha is very traditional. Often in those classes you'll find there's a lot of breath work. There might be some meditation as well, and then the asana portion or the postures in the class too. And you'll find that it's not a lot of creativity necessarily. Moving between different poses, it's a little more kind of basic and down to earth, those classes being Hatha. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about Yin and Restorative. So these are very different actually. Yin classes and Restorative classes are similar in purpose in that we are trying to target the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest system. So they're both very relaxing, but in a quite different way. Yin classes, for example, we are looking to feel something. So you'll find that there's a lot of poses that promote a lot of sensation, and it can be quite intense. It's very mindful, and our intention is to stay in those poses for a long period of time and just see what comes up in the body, the mind, and the emotions. In restorative yoga, restorative is also very relaxing, but we actually don't want to feel a whole lot of anything at all. We are using props to support the body and postures that are promoting deep relaxation so that all of your tissues can let go, and you might even kind of doze off in the poses sometimes. Your mind might go elsewhere, and it's really just to give your body, your mind, your nervous system, everything a complete break. So that's Yin versus restorative. I also wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the different denotations of like power flow, vinyasa flow, the deep flow. That's another one. Sorry, I had the thing in front of me, schedule in front of me, so that I could talk to you about this today. Power flow typically comes from the teachings of Baron Baptiste, and they are a little more structured and a little more intense when it comes down to the body of the class. All of those classes typically start with sun salutations, which are very flowing and heat promoting. They'll start to warm up the body. And then the power flow can be quite intense, and we tend to hold poses in a power flow a little longer than in a vinyasa. Vinyasa yoga and Ashtanga yoga tends to move through the postures a little more quickly. In Ashtanga, we hold everything for 5 breaths. In Vinyasa, it might only be a breath or 2, and sometimes you're actually just moving one pose on the inhale and maybe another pose on the exhale, and so on and so on. So there's a bit of a different pace with those as well. And we do have some other classes that are very different. For example, the Yoga Tonic. This is a class with Natasha, and it is therapeutic yoga and somatic yoga and changing behavioral movement patterns in the body, kind of addressing things that may not be working or moving as efficiently as they should. We often compensate with a lot of smaller muscles to do the job of one big muscle. So that's a big part of that class, and it can be really therapeutic for whether you're a beginner or you've been doing yoga for years. We all have those patterns, myself included for sure, where we need to kind of relearn how to use our muscles in our body. It's really amazing. You'll always learn something from that class. And we have a soul food yoga class, which is brand new with Brittany, and that one is designed for you to be able to do the whole class with your eyes closed if you like. There's meditation, there's breathing, there's some flowing movement, and it's all very gentle and relaxing, and it's really introspective. It's meant for you to connect deeply with yourself. Other than those, we've got Karma class, which is another kind of gentle flow class, like Kim's gentle Hatha on Tuesday nights as well. The community classes, of course, these are a little bit different in that they rotate instructors. The community meditation on Monday nights and the community yoga class on Friday nights. And depending on the teacher, it might be a different style of yoga each week. So that one's a little bit of a surprise, and they're always all levels and very accessible for everybody. I think that's all I wanted to cover for this class, or this video, I should say. If you have any questions about any of the classes that we have, please feel free to shoot us an email or comment on the video, or you can head over to our website, kalayoga.ca, and look up the detailed class descriptions for each of them. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon for some more Newbie November tips. Namaste.